Come on. So we ain't got to worry about when resistance comes in the future. The fact that you're worried about the future is resistance now. The fact that you're over concerned and worried about what could happen in the future, that's some resistance stopping you, distracting you from being completely effective and completely focused on what's valuable right now. In that moment. And that's the only resistance that you will have to worry about in the future. Because in that future, it's another now where either you're going to be effective in that moment or not. Am I right? The worst thing that can happen is that you can find yourself in a moment where you can be effective or not. That's the worst thing that can happen to any of us. No matter what the situation is, the worst thing that can happen to us is that we can find ourselves in a circumstance where we either going to be effective or not. That's the worst case scenario no matter what happens. And you in that situation now. Are you going to be effective or not? Ain't that deep? So the worst place you could have ended up at in the past that you thought about, you there now. This is where you're at. Now, are you going to be effective or not? You tell me that ain't happening. And that's what everybody's worried about. 2012 and all this is going to happen. When that happens, in that moment, are you going to be effective or not? We already been through 400 years of slavery. We're the souls on the bottom of the white man's shoes for today. How do it get worse? What's the main question? The kings and rulers of the planet are now going out struggling for minimum wage and worried about getting beat down in the streets by the police. The people who are at the top. 2012 ain't gonna get no worse for us. You get the point I'm making? Our 2012 was the slave ship that brought us over here, and we still experiencing the aftermath. Dang. We living in our 2012. You know what I'm saying? Katrina didn't happen in New Orleans. Katrina was the slave ship that we was on. And we've been living in the aftermath. You feel what I'm making? And the question that we have to ask ourselves is, are we going to be effective or not? And we have overcome all natural catastrophes, all unpredictable situations. That is the ultimate preparation, the choice to be effective. You attacked on the streets, you just minding your business. What question arises? Are you going to be effective or not? You see what I'm making? You can get caught up into, oh, I'm being attacked and what's going to happen and are you going to be effective or not? See, what happens is by you procrastinating on answering that question by what you do, you get beat even more. Right? Now you beat all the way to the ground. Now you're in the hospital. You know what your question is on the hospital bed? What is it?
What should I have?
Are you going to be effective or not? Now you off the hospital bed because you still was worried and you didn't take advantage of that moment. Now you're in critical condition. What's your question in critical condition? There you go. You see what I'm making? So no matter what happened, you're always still in the same damn place. It has gotten worse while you've been worried about is it going to get worse? While you've been worried about how worse the future is going to be when the CIA come in and kick open the doors and they kill another black messiah. Are we going to be effective or not?
Damn.
That's the ultimate question that man has had a problem with. And the universe has been asking him that with everything it's been throwing at him. Everything that is throwing at you, that's what they want to know. Are you going to be effective or not with this?
What you gonna do?
Right. Well, I don't want to deal with this and I don't know and why me and I can't believe it in this. The universe want to know one thing. Are you going to be effective or not?
Because if you are, we'll back you.
Come on. But I want to end this on that note. That's where we're at now. And we're willing to face all obstacles, face all consequences, and face all circumstances, and deal with that question right there. That's the universal question. That's the only enemy.